Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. It's the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel. It's time to talk horror, baby. And it's also time to shave the beard. You know, it was No Shave November, and now I was feeling like it's December time. It's time to take this thing off. My fiance Madison is still staring at me like I'm a stranger. She does not recognize me at all. You don't like the beard being gone, huh? No? She's shaking her head no. No, back and forth. I will grow it back out for you. How does that sound? It'll happen. She's crying. She's literally, tears are coming down her face, right? She's wiping the tears on me now. I know. Yeah. I woke up this morning and I said, it's time for a change. I got to do something different. I love that you're just toting her. There's a lot of things happening over here that are cracking me up, but it is very funny that you were just sporting around a Goldfish Crackers carton. Yeah, not sponsored, baby, but you know. Okay, don't put that on screen.
What?
I'm not.
We could get sponsored.
We're not though. we ain't sponsored. That's the problem. So
Yes.
I will shave my beard off again if I get free goldfish for life. Free goldfish for life?
I don't give a fuck.
I do that.
Homeless with free goldfish for life.
At least I'll have food. At least I'll have some delicious crackers. That's what I'm saying. How we doing though, everybody? If you're watching this on replay, please like the stream, please subscribe, do all that fun stuff. I appreciate you guys a ton. We have a lot of fun people in the chat tonight as well. We got Erica, we got Jordan, we got Cody. Appreciate all you guys. A lot of the main players hanging out with us. Who else do we got? We got Julie Lynn. What's up, Julie? How's it going? Welcome in. Thank you for being a channel member. Greatly appreciate you. We have Lainey D saying, you're just gonna burp. You're just gonna burp on my stream like that? Brutal. I'm the only one who gets to burp on my stream, damn it. I'm just kidding. Lainey is saying, how are you, Jake? And everyone, I'm fantastic. I'm vibing. I've lost a lot of weight, as you can see. Shaved off the beard, cut the hair. It's crazy. So I'm trying out a new look, but not really, just going back to the old look for a little bit. I plan on growing the beard back out and keeping the hair short. That's what I think I'm doing moving forward. That was a great burp, says Julie. Madison burps so loud sometimes that the entire apartment shakes. I feel the walls rattle. And it's terrifying. The neighbors they're so scared they don't even want to knock on the door and give us a noise complaint. So they fear that there is a beast that lives here. They are correct. Anyways, how is everyone else doing though? We got AIMC. What's up, my friend? AEMCEE. How we doing? What's up, Jake? Finally catching a stream. I'm glad you're here for the chaos that will ensue. We're already there, and we're not even 4 minutes into this bad boy. So lots of fun tonight. Lots of fun things happening tonight. Kay is saying, Jake, hey, happy to be here. Kay, thank you so much for being with us. And if I'm not mistaken, you are the same person who got a Terrifier tattoo very recently, which I thought was very damn cool. I literally just saw it on Instagram moments ago. So very cool stuff. Congrats on that. I can't really show you because I'm wearing long sleeves, but I only have my Scream tattoo. Do I derobe on stream? I think that's illegal. I think that's a little illegal, but let's see if I can pop it out. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you can see the little ghost face with the devil horns. That's what I got going on. That's it. That's my one tattoo. It's something. Oh, you're saying it's pronounced like AMC. I see what's going on. AMC. I see it. I see it now. It confused me a little bit, AMC, but I'm all about it. Welcome in, AMC, and all of your theaters. Lainey is saying, that's good. Sorry I haven't been on much, as last week my mom was rushed to the hospital. That's terrible. I'm so sorry. She's still in, but they're planning to leave her home tomorrow, to bring her home tomorrow or Friday at the latest. I'm so sorry, my friend. That's terrible to hear. Wishing her nothing but good health and so much love to you and your whole family. That's horrible. I'm so sorry. Joe Pampa saying the full shave. I'll be honest, it was an accident. I meant to just take it down a little bit. Like I wanted it to be like a tighter cut, if that makes sense. Like one of those beards that's not like out like this. I wanted it to be just a little like something. And I went a little too deep and I shaved like all the way down like here. And I'm just like, well, I guess the whole thing's going. So time to start fresh. I think when I grow it back out this time though, it's going to come in a little fuller, because I was noticing like here still a little patchy, and I think once we do it again, it ought to come out a little fuller. I was pretty happy with the beard, and the moment I shaved it off, I regretted it. I'm like, I miss it already. I already want it back, so I'm growing it out again. I think short hair, long beard. I think that's going to be the vibe moving forward. I'm a chameleon. I like to change my appearance constantly on here. If you go back through some of the old videos, you might even notice I have green hair in some of those. So I've done it all, baby. We've had long hair, short hair, no hair. We've had beard. We've done beard. We've done dyed hair. We've gone everywhere, baby. So it's a lot of fun stuff. Joe, thank you for hanging out with us, though, and thank you for being a channel member. John Best, you're the best, my friend. Saying, hey, everyone. Hey, Jake. How are you today, my friend? I am just vibing. I'm just peachy, baby. Savory as fuck, one might say. And I'm ready to talk a little horror on this beautiful hump day. Middle of the week, only 2 more days left. And then it's the weekend. Then it's time to watch horror movies all day, every day again. What are you guys watching this weekend? I'm curious. Silent Night, Deadly Night, perhaps? If you need a recommendation. Ooh, go to the theaters and see this one. It was good. Alex is saying, I don't watch the Oscars. They don't give horror the attention it deserves. True. No arguments there. I don't really watch the Oscars anymore. I don't think you should make movies just to, claim an award. I don't think that's really, what's the point, Make art to express yourself and make something that you just would want to watch. But I also think that the Oscars, admittedly, in the last couple of years, I think have leaned a little more towards horror. It's been spotty for sure, but I do appreciate the fact that The Substance, Nosferatu, and Alien Romulus all got some noms last year. Pretty damn cool. I gotta call it as I see it. That was cool. Hopefully the same carries into next year and so forth and so on and into the future. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I totally agree. The Oscars most of the time does not recognize horror, but every now and then they do, and it's crazy. Kay has 7 tattoos so far, working on my horror sleeve. I want to get a whole horror sleeve at some point. Tattoos are wonderful, but they are expensive. So at some point down the line, I want to get a Terrifier one too. Speaking of which, at one point I want to make that happen, but just hasn't happened quite yet. Cody is saying, Jake, for now on, when I get movies, if they have digital codes, I'll give them to you. I really appreciate that, Cody. It's a weird time to be thinking about Tarantino movies for sure, but I do appreciate you sending me the Kill Bill flicks, or it's one long movie, I guess, whatever. I will be redeeming those tonight. So Cody, thank you again. I really, really appreciate that. Those are movies I just never got around to buying. So that's pretty damn cool. Jace Crawford is also with us. What's up, Jace? How we doing? Thanks for being a channel member. Thanks for being here. Saying the Avengers Doomsday trailer has arrived at theaters. Just got it this afternoon. Oh, man. What's it like? Can you spoil things for us about it on the stream? I'm just curious. Maybe I could actually be like an Avengers YouTuber. And like fucking buy a house or something. That's crazy. No, that's really cool, dude. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know if you can tell us anything. I don't know. It's kind of sick, man. Jace works in the theater, which is pretty cool. So yeah, let us know. Let us know, Jace. I'm all curious now. Thank you for stopping in. Thanks for being a channel member. Lainey is saying that she was in the hospital 11 times since January. She had an infection. Oh my God, since January 2024. So it's just been 2 years of hospital visits. That sucks. You don't want to be in the hospital. You know what I mean? No matter what, you just don't. If you can avoid it, like just don't go there. I try to get your checkups and all that. That's important. But man, it's grim. It's just always like, if you don't have to go to the hospital, I don't want to go there. So that just sounds awful. I'm so sorry. Again, so much love, so much health to you, and I hope that's just. I can imagine it's a burden on your family. So I'm just wishing you nothing but good health, good, maybe a better vibe in the future, more fun times ahead, hopefully. It's always darkest before the dawn, all that fun stuff. Kyle Scunberg is saying, yeah, Jake's back, looking good. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate that. Really means a lot. Thank you. What else is going on? Jace is saying The Shining in IMAX is what I'm seeing this weekend. That's really cool. I forgot they were re-releasing that. That's pretty sick. Always wanted to see that in IMAX. I might have to try to get out there if I can. I have a really busy weekend. I think Sunday I'm finally gonna chill out and stop. I think I've already made like 6 videos this week. I'm exhausted. I'm ready for a nap. I think Sunday I'm just gonna lay around and sleep all day, which is great. John Best is saying, welcome to Derry is what I've been watching, and the last episode had me crying. Dude, me too, John. Oh my God, I just watched it this morning. I was destroyed. I was like, oh my, no, come on now. Guys, what are y'all doing? They're trying to do Stranger Things is what they're trying to do. They're trying to pull over that crowd as that show's ending. But wow, I just wasn't expecting it. I've been passively watching Welcome to Derry to do little reviews on my phone. And it's been fun. It's been fun watching it. Don't get me wrong, but I haven't been like in my head, cooking up theories about what's coming up next. And it just what happened in this episode, I won't spoil it. It's still very fresh. Came out this past Sunday. Wow, floored me. It's the best episode of the show. I think it's the best episode of the series so far. It's the turning point for me where I can officially say I like the show better than the movies. Like in that, I can't say that about most shows that continue horror franchises. This is a very, very rare case, man. Wow, Welcome to Derry has been something else. ASMR Ty just coming in here and breaking my heart. Hereditary and It Follows are mid. 2 of my favorite horror films of all time. Brutal. Those are 2 of my top 10s, baby. But I guess they're just mid. That makes me sad. Eli Gortez is saying, what's up, Jake and chat? Vibin'. What's up, Eli? How are you? Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you a bunch. Who else is with us? I keep scrolling past people. I'm so sorry. We also have Faith Dorn saying, hey, Jake, Erica, and chat. Hope everybody is having a great Wednesday. Same to you, my friend. Thank you for being with us. Really appreciate you a ton. Laney D can't wait for Scream 7 in February. Oh, don't you worry. We'll be talking all about that. I posted a big video today talking about Stumacher. Once again, we have another update on him regarding what the hell's going on with his character, if he's alive on screen or not. Kevin Williamson made a really interesting post yesterday that, of course, I had to make a video about. Come on now. We had a bunch of little other Scream updates that were cool, so go check out the video. It's a fun one if you haven't seen it yet. And again, Kevin Williamson just making some big hints, I think. Throwing a little something for us. Might be a hint as to if Stu is coming back alive or not, which is crazy. So I really thought that was fun. Had to make a whole video about it, of course. Dean Renner, thank you for being a channel member, my friend. How are you, Dean? I'm loving the face hugger emblem you got going on over there. Very nice, very nice. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. How are you? What's up? Cody's gonna be playing Fortnite and is gonna finish up some One Piece this weekend. Very nice. I have a ton of friends who have gotten like 700 episodes into One Piece, and I'm just like, dude, I don't know how you do it. I don't even know how you could like watch that much. I can't even imagine how long it would take you to get that far into it. I'd be so like, oh my god, oh, we're almost there. We're chugging along, crazy. But I don't know. I respect it though. I respect it. Dave Sim is also with us saying, what's up, everyone? What's up, Dave? How we doing? Welcome in, Dave. Thanks for talking horror with us today. Fort Misery Gaming is saying, Jake, let's be real. Do you already know the whole Scream 7 movie? Is there a point for you to see it, or will anything surprise you? I don't know everything. I definitely do not know everything. I know one thing that I will not tell you guys, and it is a very big, very big detail that you guys want to know. I promise you guys want to know this. I will not talk about it. I have not hinted at it. Lots of things that it's a one very big thing that I know that I will not talk about, reveal. I won't even give you a hint if I know about this thing or not. So don't even try to ask. Because seriously, you guys don't want to know. You guys don't want to know what I know. I do know about, I don't know everything though. I'm sure there's going to be some other shocks and surprises throughout. I don't know like a beat for beat plot of this movie. And also I don't know I don't know every spoiler. But I definitely do not know how a lot of things are going to play out. So I definitely think there is still a world where this movie can surprise me and shock me. And I hope it does. I really haven't dug as deep as other folks, but there's one big thing I know. And that's all I'll say. I want to say more, and I can't wait to talk with all of you guys about it, but that's all I can say for now. John Best plays Fortnite every single day. So are you just getting dubs left and right? You just like kicking ass and taking names? What's even going on in Fortnite these days? I played it recently for the first time in like 2 years, and I haven't come back to it. I haven't come back to it on the gaming channel. Maybe I'll have to though. Kim Kardashian's in Fortnite now, apparently. Well, look at that. Well, look at that, guys. Paula Fitzhenry, how we doing? Welcome in. Appreciate you for stopping by. Thank you for being a channel member. Just Jess, also modding alongside Erica. Appreciate you guys a ton. Jess, I saw you were just playing some games, so thank you for also hopping in the stream. That means a lot. I know how much you love talking about horror movies, so it's it does mean quite a bit. Julie Lynn Ugly cried it. Welcome to Dairy episode 7. I did too, and I have video of it on the channel right now, so there you go. I can't read all of that because I'm fucking blind, but Jamaica, what's up, my friend? How are you? My boyfriend has been me watching, and it got, oh, you've been watching, hang on. My boyfriend has been me watching, and it got good in the last 2 episodes. Are you talking about It Welcome to Dairy? I think that's what you mean. Has got me watching it, maybe? Oh, I see it. I see what's going on. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm terrible at reading. I think I agree. I think that the show it's been good, but then those last 2 episodes have really thrown it into the stratosphere. I'm officially, I wasn't sold entirely on the show until maybe the last like 3 episodes, for me personally. 5, 6, and 7 I think have been a really excellent run. I think that these are the show's better. Show's the best version of it out there. I like the movies. I think they're very good. But even when they were coming out, I was like, I think they're just a tad overrated. There's just a few things here and there that I wasn't crazy about with the movies. Some of the VFX was a little shoddy. For the most part, however, there's things here and there. But for the most part, the VFX on the show looks pretty damn good. Crazy scares, crazy forms that our monster is taking. I'm loving a lot of the things here. Mara Hill is also saying, Jake, my horror dude, that is I made it to the live stream. I'm so glad you're here, my friend. Welcome in. Okay, we got some super chats coming in that I do want to get to. We have Erica saying, half of you haven't hit the like button. Guys, as I always say, Erica will chomp off your fingers. Please just hit a button over there. If it's the like button, the dislike, that way Erica won't chomp them off. So Erica, thank you so much for the 2. I greatly appreciate that. Don't get your fingers bitten off, fellas. Don't make it happen. Blake is also with us. What is up, my friend Blake? Saying Muschietti said, I only want the good ones, and dumped the middle episodes that kind of sucked. The middle episodes were whatever. They had their high points though. I think one of those like episodes was the one where if I'm not mistaken, Marge sliced into her eye or whatever. That was pretty cool. That was a cool scene. But again, a little slower paced, setting things up for what was to come, right? Jamaica's also saying, what are they doing with Saw? Well, Blumhouse owns Saw now, and they plan on doing some sort of like full reboot. But the rumor is that they're still bringing in Tobin Bell to play Jigsaw. But it's going to be under James Wan's direction. And I think it's going to be just based on Blumhouse's track record, I think it's going to be an all new timeline, like just doing a little schism, which I don't think Saw fans are really going to like. But I'm keeping an open mind. Listen, as long as they got Tobin Bell as Jigsaw, sure. Rock and roll. Let's see what happens with it. Clark Kent, thank you for the $2. Really does mean a lot, saying, can't believe Tarantino dissed Matthew like he did. I know, brutal. Really crazy, really crazy things from Mr. Tarantino there. I don't know, man. I mean, he's always said some whack shit, and I've never really been a fan of just the man opposed to the art. I think he's always just been a loose cannon, and not in a good way. He'll just rattle off some shit that I don't know, man. It's just like, that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with disliking an actor. There's actors I dislike, but I'm not coming out here saying, oh, they're the worst fucking actor ever. I just, I don't know. It feels unprofessional. It feels very kind of rude. Just sucks. There's a way to express this opinion in a way that's not going to totally hurt somebody. I know Matthew is probably really bummed out by that, right? I mean, who doesn't want to be in a Tarantino movie? I mean, come on now. If I was an actor in Hollywood, I would love to work with Quentin Tarantino. I would love to be in a movie like that. But, hearing something like that, it just totally turns you off from that. Totally turns you off from the work is now associated with him. So I can just see being Matthew Lillard and being so like, man, fuck that guy. Tarantino's just burning bridges, and I think that's just because he is who he is. It doesn't matter at this point, but I don't know. Just still sucks, just still not very cool. Really bums me out. I also just think it's weird some of the actors he's gone after. Like Matthew Lillard is considered one of the nicest people in in Hollywood, or just one of the nicest dudes who, you know, works in the industry essentially. And if you've ever met him, you know that. You can tell. I mean, oh my God, he's one of the kindest guys, super, just super nice, super giving to his fans, like just gives a lot towards them, which is wonderful. So for him to diss Matthew Lillard of all people, you know, it's crazy. I also think out of the three actors that he's dissed, who is Owen Wilson, Matthew Lillard, and Paul Dano, I feel like everyone likes at least one movie, at least one movie that those three actors have been in. I mean, like, that is a wide range of stuff, dude. Owen Wilson, I mean, that's basically like every, I forgot his name. I forgot that. Wes Anderson. That's every Wes Anderson movie. Most people, I think a lot of people like Wes Anderson movies. Come on now. Owen Wilson's also in, I mean, the Cars movies. Come on. Those are fun. Matthew Lillard's in a ton of stuff from the 90s and the early 2000s, and Paul Dano's in like a ton of great dramas. Prisoners. I hate the ending of Prisoners, but Prisoners is amazing. I loved his version of the Riddler in the Batman. I mean, come on now. I don't know. So you got to like at least one of those things. That's crazy. Tarantino, insane. But Clark, thank you for the $2. I greatly appreciate the support. Eric is also sending out 5 Killjoy Jake memberships. Those are going to Blake, Austin Allman, Denisha Lane, Solar Guy AJ, and I scrolled too far again, and now it just sent me to the top. D Delta G. Well, welcome to the fold, everybody. And Erica, thank you so much for the support. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Laney D is saying, when Scream 7 comes into cinemas end of February, I wonder how long before it will come out on DVD. It's usually a couple months afterwards, and maybe only a month until it drops, maybe on Paramount Plus. So it probably won't be too long, but I am really excited. Really, 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 really hyped up about seeing this one in theaters, and then hopefully, you know, picking up a steelbook for it. If it's worthy of being on the shelf, of course. Fort Misery Gaming is saying, Jake, did you get spoiled more, you think, for Scream 5, 6, or 7? Definitely 7. There's been way more shit about 7 out in the open than both 5 and 6 combined. And I think a lot of it's just coming from the fact that Scream is proving to be a very popular IP. It's why I'm very confident that they're going to do more with Scream beyond Scream 7. There's just, I mean, out of all the things I talk about, I could post anything with the word Scream in it, and it will do twice the numbers of anything else I talk about in the horror space. It is, Scream fans love Scream. Simple as that. They're probably going to make Scream movies forever at this point with how much love there is for the franchise. And it only seems to be getting crazier. That also spans into the leak territory. I mean, if you guys think things are bad with Marvel, that's kind of how things are with Scream now at this point. It's just because it's snowballed into such a big IP that, you know, you're going to attract people like leakers who are going to find more and more stuff out about it. I mean, and it's one of those things where it's like, I kind of have to talk about it because if I don't, someone else is going to. But I also try not to just throw out, you know, the biggest spoilers about the movie. I think there's a line where it's like, okay, we can't cross that. You know what I mean? Like, if you know that before the movie, it could be ruined. I talk about some stuff. I will not talk about the big reveals, and I get it. I think of me as a big wall. I will go and find out all those things, and then I will tell you the things that I think I can tell you, and I won't like the thing I know. You guys really do not want to know. I promise you don't want to know what the thing is before the movie comes out, and I just feel like it's one of those things where like I'll look it up, but I won't tell y'all. You know. So that's what I'll say for Misery Gaming, but absolutely not. There's been way more shit about Scream 7 just for that reason. It's snowballed. It's become more and more popular pretty much ever since like 2019 when, you know, 5 first kind of got announced. Ever since then, it's just snowballed into something crazier and crazier. ASMR Ty is saying, no, I just noticed Jake shaved the beard. No more lumberjack Jake. I'm growing it right back out, honestly. I miss it already. I'm like, I regret it. I look like I'm 17 again, and I don't like it. I don't care for this at all. I think that this looks better, but this, not so much. I miss the beard. I want it back. Blake is saying the last episode for sure won me over. Some of it felt a little cringy to me overall, not gonna lie. I was really vibing with it. I think the thing that I didn't like so much about It Welcome to Derry is I just think it kind of like pace slowed down. The energy kind of fell a bit. in like episodes 3 and 4, and then like 5, I feel like it really picked up. I also feel like it was kind of I get the decision to do this based on where the show went, but I also feel like, you know, not having Pennywise in the first 4 episodes was like kind of just like this looming, like, what the fuck are we doing? And then it was slowly losing energy, losing steam. So I was starting to kind of like just lose interest because of that as well. I was like, what's going on here? And then I think it's if you look at the show overall, I think it's a really perfectly paced season because it grips you at the beginning enough to get through those 2 episodes that are kind of whack, and then 5, 6, and 7 are just like powerhouses. Like every minute of all 3 of those episodes were pretty damn fantastic. So at 3 and 4, they were necessary episodes. You know, they were setting up what was to come. And I'm glad that we're doing things the way that we're doing it. I don't know if everyone's seen episode 7, but there's just things that are being set up with Pennywise that I think this was the way to execute that story. You know, I'm very happy. I really have no complaints. Hollywood Guy, thank you for the 5, saying what happened to the other Jake? He had a beard. Is he gone? And who are you? It's like that episode of Star Trek where Spock, the other Spock, has the beard or whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about, or am I just old? Yes, I am. I've taken out the original Jake. I'm his clone. This is my channel now. It is weird though, isn't it? I keep looking at I'm looking at myself on screen, and I'm like, who is that? That voice? My voice is coming out of that body. That's so weird. So it's a little bizarre. I will say. I'm growing the beard right back out though. I'm thinking long bushy beard, short hair like this. That's what I want to do next. That's the next look. We're making it happen. But Hollywood Guy, thank you for the 5. I greatly appreciate it, and I too miss my beard, I guess is my point. John Best is saying Matthew Lillard is the nicest man I have ever met. He's got a wonderful energy about him, dude. He's just so over the top and so goofy. I love it. It's such a vibe. And one of my first impressions of the man ever was there was this like family in front of me waiting in line, and this little girl, you know, he picks up this little girl and he starts doing the Shaggy and Scooby voice to her, and she's just like, you know, cracking up, just absolutely losing her mind laughing. It was just like the sweetest, most wholesome thing ever. And you know, mind you, we're at this horror convention surrounded by people who have played Jason Voorhees. You know what I mean? And all these different killers and blood and guts everywhere. And then this is happening, this extremely wholesome moment. So it's wonderful. I think it's so great for anyone, not even just Tarantino, to say Matthew Lillard sucks. It's like, it's crazy to me. Nothing wrong with disliking his movies. Again, we respect everyone's opinions around here, but I just think I don't know. It's just a weird attack. That's all. And seemingly out of nowhere. Julie's even saying it weird and random for him to call out Matthew. It's kind of makes me think he has a secret crush on him. It could be that. It could absolutely be that. I have a secret crush on him, and I'll just say that right now. You know, I'm just out in the open about it. But yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe he's just jealous because he's not a very good actor himself, and yet he keeps implementing himself into projects where he's an actor. It could be that. Honestly, maybe. AMC is saying, hey, Jake, in Scream 3, Ghostface tells Sidney, it's hard being your friend. If you're friends with Sid, you die. In the Scream 7 trailer, Dewey's voice says almost the same thing. Connection? ? Well, we do have Roman in this one, man. I could see if there was some sort of connection to Scream 3. With this upcoming movie. I don't know, you know, I think a lot of people are going to take this to an Angelina place because a lot of people think Angelina from Scream 3 was like the second Ghostface. I don't know if that's going to be our big reveal or anything like that, but I do like the idea of having some sort of connection to 3, because I think Kevin Williamson could kind of polish over that. Again, it's Scream 3 is a movie that kind of just rewrites history in a lot of ways, and it's a different writer, you know, approaching it. And I don't know if I love the idea of a secret brother was behind this whole thing. I don't know. It's whatever. But if Kevin Williamson wants to approach that and, you know, make it his own with this movie, kind of rewrite history a little bit, that could be interesting. You know, I'd be interested in something like that. That would be wild. So I don't know. Maybe there is a connection. Maybe one of Roman's kids is the killer. I don't know. We'll find out though. Deep Red Mikey is saying howdy, Mikey. How you doing? Welcome in, and thank you for being a channel member. What's up? Michael Rue is also saying, if you listen to Matthew Lillard's No one knows Scream. They just know The Mask. The more that man does interviews, the more I question my fandom of him. What? No one knows Scream. They just know The Mask. I mean, I think I get that, though. I know a lot of people who just know Ghostface. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again because I think it's important to this point. I remember I told people when I was working at Chipotle before I was doing this full time. I was telling people I worked with that, like, oh, you know, they're like, what do you do on YouTube? And I'm like, I talk about Ghostface. And they're like, oh, the guy from Scary Movie. Cool. You know, they're thinking this Ghostface over here. They're thinking this fella who, and outside of this circle, I think truly this is the more popular Ghostface. I hate to admit it, but I think more people have seen the parody movie than who have seen the actual slasher film itself. That's why I think Ghostface is one of the most recognizable slasher villains. You know, people do know The Mask and not as much the movies. And it's a great costume. It's a great mask. It's iconic. It's a great look. I think it's one of the most recognizable horror villain masks in the modern day. And that's why Ghostface is so popular. That's why these movies are so popular. It's not just, the storylines. I think it's also the fact that it's just the killer has such an iconic look. It really stands out, I feel, from the other slasher villains. So I don't know. I mean, obviously Scream has its core fans, like, we're all sitting here right now. But I think, majority of general audience members, they're just like, yeah, they know that mask, and they're like, they know we're in for some sort of slasher thing, or it's something a little sillier, I guess is my point. So that's typically what I feel like most people associate with the Ghostface mask. I get that take, though, I guess is my point. I understand that where they're coming from with that. What else is going on here? We got Trashbox Mandy saying hi, hello. Yo, what's up? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Fort Misery Gaming is only through episode 4. Still loving Welcome to Derry. Definitely better than a lot of the other horror shows. Oh, it only gets better, my friend. No spoilers, but it only gets better from there. What else is going on? Tarantino also sticks up for Roman Polanski. Yeah, and I think a lot of us already know what he did. That's so weird, man. What the fuck, Not really crazy about that. I agree. Joseph Abner Bagby. I'm gonna get this name. What's up, Joseph? How we doing? Saying hi, Jake. It's been a while since I've been watching your live streams, since I started middle school. Well, I'm glad you're here, and I hope everything's going well at middle school. Good luck to you, my friend. Keep killing it. Make some friends. Learn a thing or two. You won't learn this until high school, but I hope that you learn logarithmic functions. It's so important for life. In everything you do in life, you will have to use logarithmic functions, damn it. That's not true at all. That's literally, you can skip logarithms. I'm going to be so real. Unless you're going to be like an engineer or some shit. I don't know. There's someone out there that uses logarithms every single day, but not most people. I promise you that. That's my advice, kids. Stay in school, but fuck logarithms. I'm going to be a great dad. Blake is... What's up, Blake? How we doing? How would you feel if Angelina came back as a secondary Ghostface? It'd fix the issue with teleportation of 3 for me, but I don't know how it'd blow over for me. I think it's just one of those things that, just like the Stu thing, is like kind of just we're a little late to it, If this was like the next movie after Scream 3, I'd be a little more interested in that timeline, but I don't think we need it. I don't think we need like oh yeah, Angelina was there the whole time. We're gonna make a whole nother sequel to fix that in Scream 3. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I think I like to talk about this a lot, about how Kevin Williamson could utilize Scream 7 to polish over 3, but that's like, I wouldn't want him to just make Scream 7 just to do that. You know what I mean? If that was the big reveal, for instance, of Scream 7, is that Angelina is alive and the killer of this new movie, and reveals she's been a killer since part 3. This is a big thing that we're doing. Like, that just feels like the whole point of Scream 7 is to fix Scream 3. And like, that's the whole point of an entire other sequel. Doesn't that kind of feel a little like, well, what was the point of that? Do we look down upon Scream 3 that much? I don't know. You're right. There's a whole sequence at the end that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because of what the hell's going on with Roman. Like, how was he in 2 places at once? But it's not like that important to me, I guess. that I would need to do an entire movie to fix it, right? I think a really good example of this is, I think it's Saw 4, where they introduced Mark Hoffman as an accomplice. He wasn't like the entirety of the movie, but they did introduce an entire other character to fix a little bit of a plot hole from the previous film. And it was cool. It was like a cool, we took that character to some great new places in future sequels as well. So I really it's one of those things that if you're gonna go there, you still gotta have a good story surrounding it. Just don't make an entire movie to fix something about the past. It's not that important, more than anything, I just want a good Scream film, good murder mystery. And sometimes I feel like when we're sometimes I feel like the way we're talking about Scream 7 is that they're gonna overthink it, and it's gonna be something that's just completely goes way beyond what we need from a good Scream movie. But I don't know. We'll see what it ends up being. Lazy Boy is saying, would you want one of the killers to survive, or does that or not? I would be down for that personally. I think that would be a really fun story. I'm down for deviation, dude. I'm down for, knowing the Scream I'm down for knowing the Scream formula so well that you're able to change something about it to build another story off of. I think that would be fun. Like, if you wanted to have one of the killers survive and, lead into the next movie, you got to have a plan to do so. Or if you want to just change something about the typical formula that we already know to, create a special kind of story with 7, do it, but, with purpose. Do it with purpose. Have a good place of where it's all going. So I think if you're going to do anything like that, you got to do it for a good reason. That's going to be your big thing that stands out about the film. Probably one of the things we're talking about afterwards. And it's gotta be fucking cool. It's gotta be really, really big and really standoutish. I think a really good example of that in Scream 6 is we revealed a Ghostface early, but that was for a really big point to set up who our Ghostfaces were moving forward, right? We killed these Ghostfaces. The Ghostfaces killed these Ghostfaces. And now we got other ghost faces running around doing their thing. That's cool to me. That's a vibe. And I'm curious, I'm curious to see how Scream 7 deviates from that, because I really hope that Scream 7 doesn't just, beat by beat do the same Scream formula without any sort of deviation. This is Scream 7. We can go off the rails a little bit, Let's have a little fun here. Let's shoot some shit off and see where it all lands. Fort Misery Gaming is saying, so Jake, for Saw, are they retconning Saw 3 so they can use Jigsaw in the future timeline? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know too much about what's going on. I've been trying to follow a lot of the third-party sources who are talking about what's going on behind the scenes, but it sounds like whatever it's going to be, it's going to probably retcon some sequels. So it could, just like bounce right from, the original Saw, for instance, or maybe it's, just goes from Saw 3, maybe Jigsaw never died there and we're going somewhere else with it. I don't know. I am curious to see what James Wan wants to do with it. I'm curious. I'm waiting for a bigger announcement for sure. And I'm really hoping that they get going with it soon, because I want some more Saw. Saw X was great. I think one of the better sequels in the whole damn franchise. So really do want some more from the series. Sloppenheimer is saying, I'd almost prefer if Roman was revealed to have been a patient at the asylum and actually not being in a relationship to Sydney. He instead is just insane and was mixing his life into Sid's. Maybe he just got so invested in Stab 3 that he'd just made up that whole backstory. I mean, I actually see, I only like that though because I just don't like Roman's backstory. That's the only reason I like that. I don't like the secret brother thing. It is so soap opera. I don't think it, if you're gonna build off of an original film, it's got to add to it, right? That adds nothing of value to Scream 3 or to the original Scream for me. Just thinking about how, some Hollywood director who's also happens to be Sydney's long lost brother is also there pulling the strings. I don't know. It's ridiculous. I think just the story as it was way more interesting. Just the idea that this teenager essentially was pissed off about what was going on with his parents, and now it has a broken home because of what this other person was doing. That's just, it's simpler. simple, clean, and also has a little bit of horror meta commentary to it as well. So I think just the whole Billy Loomis backstory as it was in the original Scream was cool, worked for me. Rock on. Let's move on. Let's do something else now. But I don't know. Chris Schober is saying, do you think we will get a season 2 and season 3 of It Welcome to Derry? Yes. Do you think they will use the same character for Pennywise for seasons 2 and 3? I think we'll definitely get a season 2 and a season 3. It's a planned 3-season arc where it's going back in time to all the different years. It's like, I think it's like 1930 something, I can't remember, and 1908 would be the next 2 years that they're going to focus on. And we've already gotten a tease of that, right, in this first season. I think 100% is going to happen. It's been a very popular show. Obviously, I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, but I'm sure they're going to do it. Like I said earlier, I think they're trying to pull that Stranger Things crowd from Netflix over there. But I guess if Netflix buys Warner Bros, it doesn't matter anyways. But point being, I definitely think that yes, that this will get renewed. The Stranger Things crowd is they're looking for a new home after season 5 is over of Stranger Things. So I could totally see them being like, ooh, It Welcome to Derry, rock on, And the show's been very good so far. It's had a very impressive first season. Could totally see it being a big thing moving forward. Mandy is also throwing $2 out there. Thank you so much for the support, my friend. Here for Jake and Erica and a little Scream talk. Hell yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here for a little Scream talk. It's always fun. Always fun talking some Scream. Always a good time, and we're glad you're here. So thank you. We also have Talking Star Wars throwing 2 out there saying, here so Erica won't bite off my fingers. There you go. Rock on. Now you're safe. You can keep all 10 of your digits. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting the page. Really does mean a lot. William is saying, hey, Jake, what's your opinion on Gail? Will she make it to Scream 8 or die in 7? I think it really depends on what they want to do with the character. I just want to see them do something with Gail. And if that's give her an arc where she sacrifices herself, that would be really powerful, in my opinion. They didn't do anything with Gail in the last movie. Like, nothing. She just kind of came back. She had her little call and chase sequence, but it's totally inconsequential to the rest of the film. It's a scene that exists for fan service and nothing else. And I don't know. When it comes to a movie plot, I feel like everything should kind of be consequential to what came before it. It's just, I don't even care. Like, that scene means nothing. That scene means absolutely nothing. And I just think what sucks about Scream 6 is I think you could have removed Gail from the story entirely and nothing about the plot would have changed. Like, nothing of importance. And that's what sucks about it. I think that Gail should have been a little more important in the, solving the mystery, or I don't know, something. Either that or just don't bring her back at all. It's just like, it just feels like the only reason we're bringing her back is fan service, So I think if we're going to bring her back in this movie, she's here, do something with the character. Don't just bring her back because you have to, because she's Gail Weathers and that's a big character in Scream. No. I mean, look, I'll be completely honest with you guys. Did I miss Sidney Prescott in Scream 6? No. I hate to say it, but what would she have done in that movie? I just don't know. I don't know what she would have showed up at the end and shot through some doors again. It's like, okay, cool. I don't care. I feel like Sydney hasn't really served a purpose in Scream since Scream 4. And I think what's going to be refreshing about Scream 7 is actually seeing the next chapter in her life and actually doing something with the character. Otherwise, just don't bring these characters into the story. Something I'm worried about moving into Scream 7 now is that Chad and Mindy are here, and I'm terrified they're only going to be here to bring in the crowd from 5 and 6. And that would suck for the exact same reasons. It's like, well, these characters actually had a point of being there in the last 2 movies, and now they might just be here because, hey, we got to make sure that the people that came on board with this franchise with 5 and 6 are gonna like these next movies, So Chad and Mindy, here you are. That would suck. That would just be such a waste. Just for the point of putting butts in seats, and that's no fun. It's always kind of boring to me. Who else is with us? We got Val's Views. What's up, Val? How we doing? Welcome in. Austin Allman is saying, my fingers have eczema, so Erica can have them. Erica might not want those. She might be She might be scared. No, I'm kidding. I'm messing with you. I'm just joking. Solar Guy AJ is saying, thanks for the membership. I think that was from Erica. So hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Davey Deathray saying, hey, everyone, looking slick, Jake. Thank you so much. I feel my face feels slick like a baby seal. So it's wild. I want to grow the beard back out again because I miss it. I already miss my beard. I looked at it in the sink this afternoon and I was sad. So I'm probably going to grow it right back out again. So I won't look too different for too long. AMC is saying maybe a connection between Roman and Stu, something Billy wasn't aware of, or I know you'll hate this. Roman saved Stu or got him out. Roman was the first one to fake his death. So maybe Roman helped fake Stu's death. I mean, yeah, that's totally possible. I think it's possible, right? It's possible, but I just think when it comes to Scream, I want to see somebody new underneath the mask every single time. I feel like that's one thing that should stay consistent because it keeps every single movie fresh and about something different each time. Otherwise, I just feel like you're bound to repeat yourself if you are repeating killers, right? Like there's sometimes I just don't feel like I feel like Scream is the last franchise that should repeat killers. Every other slasher franchise does it. Once you start doing that in Scream, it just turns into Friday the 13th, but with a different flavor, I guess. It's still, I guess it might still feel like Scream, it's got that Kevin Williamson touch to it, but it'd be missing one of the coolest elements, right? I love trying to figure out who it is the whole time. And I would feel sucker punched if it was just a killer from another movie at the end. It would just be like, are you kidding me? Like I thought it was John over here. You made me think maybe it could be, my guess was it was John, and it was never going to be John. It was always going to be Stu Macher underneath the mask the whole time. And that's just, it's no fun, Subverting, shock is not the same as a twist. You know what I mean? You can make people think, oh, it's this person, it's that person. And that at the end, just random guy you've never seen before pops up and takes off the mask. But that's not a twist. That's just the shock. A good twist is something that's been hidden in plain sight the entire time and logically makes sense. Billy Loomis being the killer in the original Scream is kind of obvious, but when you learn about his motive, when you learn about his accomplice, these are the things that are like surprising. These are the big twists of the movie. Why he's doing it, and with who and how. You know what I mean? It's more than just the who, I guess is my point. It's also the why. It's how did they do it? There's so much more to a good mystery than just who actually is the person under the mask. Like, look, I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm 99.99% sure Anna Camp is one of the killers in this film. I'm very, 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 very certain about it. But even if it is Anna Camp, I still don't know what her motive is. I still don't know, how she did it, how she went about doing things in the movie that we still don't even really know about, entire sequences that were, happen in a certain way, right? So there's a lot more to a murder mystery reveal than just who's underneath the mask. That first shock of, oh my God, it's them, So I think there's a lot more to it than just that, but we'll see. We'll see what's up. Erica's saying there's 13 more minutes to get 4 more super chats. We can do it. And if we do that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk horror for a whole nother hour, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Love it. Erica, thank you for the 2, though. Greatly appreciate your support. Davey is saying, is it just me, or is Jake's handsome look making anyone else's pants tighter? Oh boy. It's getting spicy out there, ladies and gentlemen. Whew. Getting all hot and bothered over here with the way Davey's talking to me out there. Damn. Val's Views is saying, hot take, I'm so ready to move on from Sydney's story. I don't disagree. I don't want to sound like a Sydney hater. I love Sydney. Great character. But like this story has been over for like decades now. Okay. I love Sydney Prescott, but man, like I'm ready. I think it's going to be way easier to do a good murder mystery with characters we're unfamiliar with. I mean, does that make sense? I feel like just as an example, I feel like going into the movie Hard Eyes. And again, I'm not talking about the actual product that Hard Eyes ended up being, but I just mean like the prior times going into a movie like Hard Eyes or Thanksgiving or the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. I feel like I had less of an idea of who the killer could have been in those flicks versus going into something like Scream 7, where we know like half the cast is definitely not going to be Ghostface. There's no fucking way. And that's how it's been for almost all of the Scream movies at this point. Gail Sidney is never going to be the killer. You're like, you know that for sure. Come on now. That just doesn't make a lick of sense at this point. They wouldn't do that. No way. Absolutely not. Chad and Mindy, not going to be the killer in this film. Absolutely not. No way. The husband or the daughter, not going to be the killer. Absolutely no way. I promise you. There's so many characters where and that's because of the fact that the Scream is a franchise that is built off of each other with every single one. There's just so much history there. And if you kind of cross-examine some of the shit that's happened before in the past, you just can look at a movie like Scream 7, like the 7th chapter in a very long saga, and just be like, okay, well, that person's not the killer, that person's not the killer, nope. And then it kind of cuts it down to a very short group of people it could be. And I think that's the problem with continuing one person, just any one person story throughout multiple movies of a murder mystery franchise. So I'm with you, Val. I think at some point we have to just move on from this character and just start fresh. Clean slate, brand new set of characters. They have a Ghostface problem. That's going to be a movie that delivers have a much better chance at delivering a shocking twist versus the setup for this film. It's a hill I'm going to die on. I've heard a lot of people say, well, Scream is Sidney, and respect there. But like, do you really want to see a million more Sidney movies where the story gets worse and worse and worse and worse every single time? I don't want to see that happen for Sidney Prescott. I feel like it's already happened to Laurie Strode. And I hate to say it, but there are times where I'm watching Laurie Strode in a Halloween movie and I'm rolling my eyes. And I'm like, this is so out of character. This is just not Laurie Strode. And I think that sucks. I would never want that to happen for Sidney Prescott. If that ever happens for this character, man, that would suck. That would be such a bummer. Where it stands now, I feel like the worst thing that they've done with Sidney Prescott is just use her for fan service in Scream 5, but that's not character ruining. What they've done with Laurie Strode, however, well, it is what it is. But I don't know. I hope that never happens to Sidney, man. That would really suck if this movie was just not a very good story that just decimated the character. That would blow. That would really blow. Next Gen is saying, should I spend Christmas Eve watching Silent Night, Deadly Night by myself at the movies? Yes. I'd rather watch Corey Claus kill people than listen to political rants. What? I mean, it's a movie where Nazis die. So, I mean, if you like Nazis, you're going to hate the movie. I don't even think I could say that on a live stream, but I don't care. I don't know, man. It's unless you're a Nazi, I think you're gonna you will like this movie otherwise. That's what I'll say. So it is. I don't think it's that political of a movie, but I think that there are a lot of people who are gonna try to make it a political thing and call it woke and call it this and that, when it's like, they're killing some of the most vile kinds of human beings ever in this movie, and people have a problem with that. Like, that just, I don't know. That sends the wrong vibe to me, I guess, is my point. So it's a movie full of shitty people getting exactly what they deserve. It's really satisfying. It's really fun. So if you want that, you will absolutely vibe with it. Silent Night, Deadly Night, I thought totally rocked. Very satisfying, crowd-pleasing watch. That's what I'll say. For Misery Gaming is saying, I guess it's safe to say your big secret for the movie doesn't have to do with Stu then, since you're not sure if he's present in person still. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Jem Witt is saying, if Stu isn't dead, then how come his clothes were not in the shrine? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. The shrine's got a lot of great stuff in there. Maybe Stu's alive. Maybe he's dead. I don't know. Michael Rue is saying, no repeat killers, but it would be nice for a survivor to turn killer. That's just that's a really tough story to write. And we actually kind of just got into this with Silent Night, Deadly Night. I think it was kind of interesting. I was talking about how Billy Chapman is a character from the original movie specifically. This new one, I think, found a way to go a different route. But in the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, we have a character who at a very young age is traumatized and suffers from PTSD. And because of that, he turns into a killer. Well, does that really send the right message? I mean, a lot of people have suffered from PTSD and they're not out here going punish with an axe. It's vilifying the wrong person there. So what I think was really great about the new Silent Night, Deadly Night is you still have that, but there's like a supernatural twist to it. that turns it into a different kind of movie and kind of subverts that comparison. Right. So I think it's just really hard to turn a survivor character into a killer. You just got to do it in a certain way. And again, Scream is a series that does not delve into the supernatural. So I think it would just be a tougher thing. It would just be a tougher thing to accomplish in this franchise, to do killer turning into a survivor without sending the wrong message, you know? Hello Piper 21 is saying, when do you think the new trailer will come out for Scream 7? I'm really thinking later on this month. It's gotta be, right? If not this month, it's gotta be early January. I think now is a great time to put out a new trailer for Scream, especially with the holiday season upon us. Everyone's gonna be talking, you know, with their families and shit. This would be some great time to get some word of mouth marketing going. And I think one of the best ways to do that is put a trailer out right before Christmas. So I'm really thinking we're following a trend here. Scream 7 put out a trailer right before Halloween. I think we're gonna get another trailer for Scream 7 right before Christmas. That's my guess. Fingers crossed. That's what I'm really hoping for. JJ is also with us saying, more Sydney movies. Craven would die hearing you say that. Wait, that's terrible. JJ, that's horrible. I think I can't speak for Craven, but I do know that he loved Sidney Prescott as a character, and probably would have loved this upcoming film. So I definitely think he definitely would love the fact that we're coming back to Sidney, just based on, you know, what we used to talk about, is what I'll say. So much love and respect. Again, just still such a major bummer about that. I miss him every single day talking about Scream. You know, it's a void that I just don't know if we're ever gonna fill. HMG Workout Fitness is saying, just got done watching Terrifier 3. Jake, do you think that Jonathan actually died? I don't know. I really don't know. I want to say here, my thoughts on it are this is what I'll say. I'm building it up because I'm thinking. We have Gabby, who is now kind of your surrogate Jonathan in the film, and she is in peril. I don't believe she is dead by the time we get to the end of the film. Obviously, I think she's been sucked into what is essentially hell through a clown cafe portal. You know, that's what we're kind of using as symbolism for hell. I don't think that I don't know if Jonathan is dead or not. But what I'll say is I do think that Elliot Fulham will be involved with Terrifier 4. We've introduced the idea that ghosts from the past can, you know, show up and kind of interact with Sienna. And I think that's going to be how Jonathan and Sienna are able to communicate in Terrifier 4. Because here's the other thing. They didn't show us the kill. And doesn't that feel a little disappointing? You know, it's like, why didn't they show Jonathan's death? That's kind of whack to me. Maybe the point of that could have been because we're going to see Jonathan all ripped up and filleted, you know, in the next movie, chatting, maybe having some sort of talk with Sienna. Maybe he's just like a floating head because he's a skeleton. Or so, I don't know. Point being, I think somehow we're going to see Jonathan, Ghost Jonathan, communicate with Sienna from the other side, and that's going to serve some sort of point, I imagine. Erica's throwing a super chat in there saying, oh no, less than 4 minutes for 2 more super chats. Stars in music, Trashbox Mandy throwing something out there. I don't even know. What even is that emoji? Is that like a see no evil kind of vibe? I love that. Erica threw out another one saying almost one more, and Mandy threw out a boom, baby. We done did it. Thank you guys so much for the support tonight. I really appreciate you all. Thank you. Keeping the lights on. And you know what? I didn't even turn on my cool new light. Hang on, everybody. Now that the goal has been reached, let's make this happen. I kind of love it. Ooh, baby. It looks really sick in the video today. I was really happy with the way that light was looking. I was like, ooh, man, that's nice. That's fire. I got this little like blue filter that I put on the videos and stuff now. And so that with like a little orange light, I was like, oh yeah, that rocks. Rockin' and rollin'. The one-man band to rule them all. I love your name. Baby. How we doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. King Matthew III is also with us saying, the wildest part about the Scream 7 trailer was hearing Dewey sound evil, your friends die for just being near you. That has to be Ghostface talking to Gale. Yes, 100% yes. I totally think we're getting another phone call between Ghostface and Gale. That's going to be fun. And with Dewey's voice, man, that's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be so, like, Gail's gonna be heartbroken, man. I'm excited to feel some pain watching this. I'll tell you what, I want Scream to stomp on my heart. Lainey is saying, I'm going to bed, Jake. The time here is 1 a.m. Good night. Good night, my friend. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out with us. Sleep good. I'm sorry I kept you up late. I feel bad. What else is going on? Jake, 79 days left till 79 days, folks. That's awesome. That's exciting. Oh, boy. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a whole event. And I hope I like it. I hope I like the film. I'm very worried that if I'm always going to be honest about how I feel about a movie with you guys. And if I don't like this one, I'm going to crap on it. But I am concerned, you know, Scream is the bread and butter of this page. I'm just going to be honest. If it wasn't for the Scream updates, I don't know if I'd be able to pay my bills. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna be totally real about my thoughts and feelings. Hopefully you guys are still wanting to stick around if I don't like the film. I think I don't know. It's something that's been on my mind lately. I'm like, I hope I like this movie, but there's some things about it that have me worried. And I hope it's good. I hope it rocks. I love Scream though. I really do. I love this franchise. I think that sometimes it gets a little too obsessed with certain things, like certain elements that I just don't understand why they're even a part of this series. Like, we're so focused on family killers. I don't get that. I don't understand. Like, that just feels like something a soap opera would do, not like a really, you know, sophisticated horror franchise that could be something really, really fucking crazy and wild and brutal. And sometimes it just gets a little too obsessed with some of these more cheesier elements, which worry me. What definitely worries me about this upcoming flick. And I hope it doesn't. You can get a little cheesy. There's nothing wrong with that, but I hope it doesn't get too cheesy, to the point where it's just it's you know, just early in the morning soap opera energy and not much else to offer, sadly. I don't know. We'll see what's up. JJ is throwing five out there. Thank you so much, JJ, saying Craven would get so emotional about getting rid of Sydney. I did not mean it that way. My bad. I thought that's how you meant it. I'm so sorry. I was like, damn, dude. Oh my God. That's awful. No, I got you though. He would get emotional about getting rid of Sydney. I think he wouldn't want that. I think he definitely would want it to be Sydney focused. I think Craven was someone who really liked just OG Scream, just the vibe of that, and wouldn't want that to change. Very traditionalist, you know, when it comes to Scream. But this series to me, like what was so great about it when it came out, and what I think is still so great about it, hopefully this stays consistent moving into 2026, but I think what was so cool about the series back in the late 90s, why it resonated with people at the time, was it was hitting on things that people were thinking about horror movies. Like, it actually was able to get into the heads of people who were, you know, who were there in the horror scene during the time, and hit on those same criticisms and, you know, point of views, whatever. And I think that was the fun of it. It was the horror franchise for horror fans. And now I just feel like we're slowly starting to get away from that. And I think it's because of its inability to change. I think a lot of that comes from the fact that we're just following the same old characters and just getting to a point where we're just running out of things to do with them. You know, I love Sidney Prescott. I love Gale Weathers. Hell, I love Sam Carpenter too, but eventually we got to move on from all these characters. I mean, I think if they would have done one more Carpenter Sisters movie, I would have been like, okay, now I think it's time to move on from them. You know, I love those characters too, but I think Scream constantly has to change by utilizing a similar formula each time, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like, you know, we have to have Scream is only effective if it's able to actually get inside the minds of horror fans of right now. You know, and I think 5 and 6, they do an okay job at that. I think there is some decent commentary elements there, but I think the one big thing that the original Scream movies have over 5 and 6 is the fact that the commentary is just so much stronger. And it's something that I'm hoping that 7 can kind of find a way to correct. And that was my one big thing about 5 and 6, that I definitely think the original movies did way better. But what was cool about 5 and 6 is that they tried to push the franchise in some new directions with, you know, different characters and crazier kills, more modern, you know, tension building techniques. And I appreciated that. I thought that was fun. that was cool and effective in this series. Again, it was something different. It was Scream. I guess my point is all this boils down to the fact that I think Scream always needs to find a way to be modern while still sticking to a traditional formula, if that makes sense. So find a way to make it, find a way to make it hip. I sound so fucking old, but you got to find a way to make it hip. You got to find a way to make it about what's going on in the current state of horror. Otherwise, I just feel like it's old man yelling at cloud kind of commentary, and that I don't know if that's going to work. So, Chase is hanging out with us saying, "Ever see Christmas, Bloody Christmas? It was definitely something. It was fun. I had a good time with Christmas, Bloody Christmas. It went on so long at the end. It was just like, dude, oh my God. The false resolutions here are crazy. Joe Bagos movies are just so gorgeous to look at, man. I can kind of, they're not, none of them are perfect. And I don't know if any of them are super polished or anything like that, but he just has a style that is so cool, man. Christmas, Bloody Christmas is a great example. Lots of neon lights. It's always very dark and grainy, but neon lights, and lots of blood, lots of gore, of course. It's a fun movie. I like it. It's not great or anything, but it's a good one-time watch around this time of year, around the holidays. But I think Joe Bagos, I really think his best movie so far is Jimmy and Stiggs from this year, which was just crazy. It was so like DIY energy. And it's just a splatter flick, man. Again, very, very neon, very pretty to look at, but just total chaos from start to finish, which is fun. Always a good time. So I don't hate Christmas, Bloody Christmas. It was at the very least very bloody and brutal, but has a little bit of cringe dialogue and some just a resolution that just won't come. It's just the movie keeps false resolution. The killer gets back up, killer goes down, killer gets back up, killer goes down, killer gets back up. It's like, dude, this thing's gotta die at a certain point. Oh man, crazy. Brianna Robinson is saying, you think it's Sydney's what? You think that Sydney's friend is gonna die? Scream fans aren't as toxic as Halloween fans. Are Halloween fans really toxic? I have never been able to figure that out. I had a little bit of a Halloween following, I think, for a while, but I don't know. I have not had as many toxic experiences with Halloween fans as I have Scream fans. That's all I'll say. Not everybody, but there's just every now and then it's just like, dude, come on. Come on. It's fine that I like these movies more than these movies. It's not the end of the world. It's crazy, but I have had a few experiences, which is wild. Austin is saying, I wonder if Scream 7 will comment on Terrifier level gore. Yeah, maybe. I think that would be a cool thing because we're thinking about it, right? That's a big talking point when it comes to any gory movie nowadays is compared to Terrifier 2 or 3, right? That's a big thing. So Scream 7, it would be nice. It would be cool. It would be cool for them to kind of hit on that, right? Michael is saying, Jake, what are you getting your fiance for Christmas? I can't tell you because she's in the other room and she can hear me right now. I got her something pretty cool, though. That's all I can say. Also, did we talk about Ready or Not, Here I Come yet? No, we have not. I'm very excited for that one. Ooh, baby, that one's going to rock. What a killer trailer, man. I was really, really blown away by that one. I really think my biggest thing about Ready or Not 2 is I never thought that movie needed a sequel, and yet I'm so glad it's getting one. It's a very creative way to do a continuation, is the fact that there's just like more games, there's more deals with the devil, and there's all kinds of weird rules. My theory right now is that Elijah Wood's character is some sort of like adjudicator who's like who knows all the satanic rules of the games and all that bullshit. And I'm kind of loving that. I'm loving that idea of a character. And just the fact that all these rich people have got to hunt down Samara Weaving and Catherine Newton. I'm like, you found a way to not only take the concept to a more grandiose place, but in a organic way. And I'm seeing how I'm seeing how it's going to flow very naturally into this movie. Sometimes when you see sequels like this that are just like the same thing, but like double trouble, just twice as big. Happy Death Day to You, I think, is a great example of this. it gets too big for its britches. It doesn't feel like something, it doesn't feel seamless. Feels like we're going from one thing to something twice as crazy and high octane. Oh my God, you know, let's do a bump. What? Too much. It's too much. Ready or Not 2, however, I feel like this is going to be a seamless transition from one movie into the next thing. And that's impressive. That's like, wow, okay, that's not easy to do. So I got to give him props. I can already feel that about the movie. I'm seeing scenes where I'm like, I can see this being the natural progression of where we left off in the last movie. And I'm really excited. I'm really very hyped up to see where it goes next. A2852 is saying, have a great night, brother. Same to you, my friend. Thank you for hanging out with us. Greatly appreciate you. Solar Guy AJ is also saying no Rob Zombie films. Joe Bagos is very similar to Rob Zombie, I think. I think their styles are very similar. I think I said it in a video the other day. I'm like, Joe Bagos movies is like if Rob Zombie was obsessed with neon lights, and I could not stress that enough. It's But if you like Rob Zombie, you'll probably like Joe Bagos movies. I personally like both. I don't like all their stuff, but the ones that do work for me is like, okay, you know, that was a lot of fun. Sick, man. You're saying it was in response to the comment that Dewey called Gale. I think that call was for Sydney because Sydney's friends died. Are you talking about in like Scream 2 when Randy picks up the phone or whatever and then from Gale? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just not sure what we're talking about. A whole lot of things here. Hard. It's really hard to keep all them things straight, man. I'll tell you what. Have you seen Christmas Horror Story? Maybe. I've seen a lot of every Christmas I try to put on a different Christmas horror movie. So Christmas Horror Story. Oh, wait, yes. Is this the one with all the shorts? Yes, I think I've totally seen this. Oh, wait, hang on. Yes, anthology film. Yeah. No, I've seen this one. Isn't there like a bunch of evil elves that are attacking Santa at the North Pole? Like they all get sick or something? If I'm not mistaken, I want to say that was the thing in this movie. It's been a long, I think I literally saw this like a year after its release, like before I even started this channel. Because I remember putting it on during this time of year, like back at my folks' house. This was when I was in high school, man. Oh man, but yeah, this was a weird one. I was vibing with it though. So it was a pretty cool watch. Pretty decent watch. I'd recommend it if you haven't. If you want a good like anthology Christmas horror flick. I don't know how many of those there are out there, but it's cool. It's cool stuff. Christmas Horror Story is so messed up. Yes, that's it. Yeah, okay. I'm kind of remembering it. I gotta rewatch it. It's almost been 10 years. It's almost been 10 years since 2016. Fuck, I'm getting old, guys. I still think the dab is cool. Oh man. Oh Lord, I can feel my knees ache. It's crazy. Anyways, what else is going on here? Scream 7 trailer, says Brianna. Oh, you mean like the Dewey call? I think that call was for Sydney because Sydney's friends died. Oh, okay. Oh, I got you. The Dewey, okay. Because we're speculating that Dewey voice is going to be a call for Gale, but you said it's going to be a call for Sydney. I'm sorry, Brianna. I'm just stupid. Let's just be honest. I don't, sometimes things don't really, not all the cogs are turning in the right ways up here. So apologies there. Hello Piper is saying, do you think The Strangers Chapter 3 will be the best in the trilogy? I think it's going to be a masterpiece of cinema. I truly think that, 2001 A Space Odyssey, piece of shit, honestly. I think that Strangers Chapter 3 will truly just decimate the work of Stanley Kubrick. No, I think it's going to suck. I have no faith in that movie. I'm sorry. Man, Chapter 2, I didn't think they could make a worse movie than Chapter 1. I was even saying in my Chapter 1 review, I'm like, there's no way they're going to find a way to make something worse than this. And somehow they managed to do it. It's kind of impressive. I'll be honest. Like, all the things I don't like about slasher movies are currently present in these two films. It's really an impossible feat that I actually have to commend director Renny Harlin for somehow figuring out. So I don't know. They're impressively bad. And you know what? If you're gonna make a bad movie, take it that far. Yeah, you know, like make it unwatchable. If you're like, this is gonna be a bad movie, fuck it. I'm going into this thinking I want to torture my audience. Is kind of the vibes of those movies. But hey, you know what? They've accomplished that. They've truly accomplished something that one might call amazing. Antonis Andriotis is saying, "Hey Jake, what's up, broski? Vibing out, talking horror. You know the vibes. What's up, my friend? What are you excited about in terms of horror? Let me know. Let me know. Chase, you're so right, bros. They need to make a Christmas Scream. I think that would just be great. I think Ghostface in the Snow is something that I still can't believe they haven't done. I think that the black Ghostface robe against like a bunch of white snow, like, I mean, just that would be a gorgeous shot. I mean, could you see like Ghostface chasing someone down in a snowy field? I mean, come on. That's awesome. That would be great. Kiki is saying bad even stoned. I have not watched the movie Stoned, but I will say there are some movies that are way better stoned. Some movies are just so much better. There are movies that I hate that if I'm a little, you know, and I put them on, I'm like, this is the best fucking thing I've ever seen, man. Freddy vs. Jason is the greatest movie I've ever seen. If you're a little, you know. Also, what's the other one? Freddy's Dead, A New Night. Is it the Final Nightmare? I can't remember the subtitle. Freddy's Dead, a little, you know, man, masterpiece of cinema. 10 out of 10. Davey Deathray is saying make bad movies fun again. Bad movies are just kind of boring these days. I think that is the problem, isn't it? I mean, I think that's my problem with the Strangers movies is they're boring, man. They're not fun. They're just, every kill is underwhelming. Every character decision is dumb. It's frustrating opposed to, you know, like movies that were bad used to kind of like know that, you know, they used to get it, right? They used to be in on the joke. And now I feel like a lot of movies think they're like masterpieces, but they're not, you know? I don't think anyone wants to make like a campy bad movie anymore. I think that's the problem. And the one thing I will give to the new I Know What You Did Last Summer is it didn't really work for me. It didn't really tickle the funny bone by any means. But I think it was going for so bad it's good, at the very least. At least it was at least it had the right mindset. I just don't think it was effective in those regards. So that's the one apologetic element I'll give to that new I Know What You Did Last Summer. But I don't know. Brianna's saying it's all right. Chat can be disjointed sometimes. You don't gotta defend me. I said it and it was true. That was a dumb brain fart moment there. It's all good, Brianna. I'm just messing with you. Jack Frost 97. You know what actually is a good example of a very fun, dumb, bad movie? Cocaine Bear. Guys, that was so much fun. That Cocaine Bear does not get its flowers. It's great to see a movie like that in theaters. Like, you know what, guys? I will talk on and on about why I think Hereditary and It Follows are these artistic masterpieces. But you know what? Every now and then, I want to see a bear do a bunch of cocaine and kill people, okay? You know, I swear to, like, listen, I will go on a fucking rant about why Sinners is like one of the greatest movies of this decade. And it's this masterpiece and artistic expression, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But man, every now and then, I just want to see Freddy Krueger play a guy like he's a video game. You know, it's like great graphics. You know, like I need a little bit of both of those things. I'm not so much of I swear I'm not the biggest artsy fartsy guy that only watches stuff like that. Sometimes I want some slop. I want to eat some fast food McDonald's movies, man, and it's fun. It's a damn good time. And anyone who tells you otherwise is crazy. Being boring is the worst crime a movie or any entertainment can commit. I know that, man, and I feel like a lot of people who make movies don't know that. You know, and I will also say to that same point from a minute ago is that I love these artsy fartsy movies, but I have seen a lot of artsy fartsy movies that are just fucking boring too, man. And it's like, okay, you got a good message and a good analogy, whatever, but it's fucking boring, dude, you know? And I think a lot of movies like that, they get too obsessed with the allegory and the metaphors and all that. And it's just like, that's great and all, but like, it's also still got to be an entertaining movie, man. You got to find that line, that balance. Because it is still something that people are going to watch for entertainment, right? So I love when a movie can have, you know, more than just a surface level thing going on. That's always fun to me. It's always gets if I'm invested and I'm thinking about what's going on screen, I'm way more engaged versus not being engaged, which you really don't want from your audience. But I also think you can be just boring as fuck. Chase, I love this, dude. My favorite bad movies are Piranha 3D 1 and 2. I put both of these on once a year. I'm so serious. I love both of these stupid movies. They are so much fun. Oh my God. I mean, people just getting ripped apart by like shitty CGI fish. Rock on, baby. I'm there. Put it on. Do you want to build a snowman, says Phoenix 4200? Yes. I always want to build a snowman, Elsa. Thank you for hanging out with us. I greatly appreciate you. Hello Piper I'm just saying I'm trying not to crash on Ready or Not 2, but it's kind of giving bride hard action sequences. Is that like Die Hard but bride hard? What? I mean, I think it's gonna be a silly popcorn movie, you know, but I think it's gonna be a fun one. I am definitely still excited for it. I think they've done some fun things with the concept. I won't go on the rant again, but I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be a good time. Davey Deathray is saying, I want a modern Freddy game so bad. Imagine how scary it would be with the dream sequences. You know, we got a little bit of that with what's going on? What is that movie? Holy shit. No, Dead by Daylight. We got a little bit of that energy in Dead by Daylight, which is cool. You can, run around and get chased by Freddy Krueger, but the problem is nobody plays as Freddy Krueger in Dead by Daylight anymore. I don't know if that's like because he's a bad, slasher villain to play as. I honestly have never played as Freddy in the game. But man, it is cool. Every now and then you get somebody playing as Freddy, I guess is my point, and you have to like go into a dream sequence and escape. And it's cool. It's kind of a cool little mechanic, but I agree. I think like just a fully based on Freddy game would be nice, opposed to just Dead by Daylight mechanics. What's going on here? We got ASMR Ty saying, had time to get some Chipotle and my boy Jake's still alive. Dude is the GOAT. You're the GOAT, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with us. I greatly appreciate you. Enjoy that Chipotle. I just got me a burrito this past weekend, man, and it hits different, man. Every now and then you need a big, gigantic burrito to stuff into your face. Maybe you're a bowl guy, though. I don't know. But man, there's nothing like holding a burrito the size of a baby and just eating the whole damn thing in one sitting. It's just, it hits. It hits different than any other food. I don't know what it is. Does it for me. Michael Rue is saying, Jake, how do you feel about The Hateful Eight? Quentin Tarantino feelings aside, I love that movie. Dude, I said it in my video today. I love Tarantino movies. I really do. And it sucks that he's such a butthole. But I really do love a lot of Quentin Tarantino flicks. And Hateful Eight, I don't know if I love it, but I do love things about it. I love that it's kind of like his own version. It's The Thing if it was a Western, basically, which is kind of cool. And you also have the same dude that did the music for the original The Thing, whose name I always pronounce incorrectly, so I'm just not going to say it. But he actually does the music for this film and won an award for it, which was I think it was an Oscar, if I'm not mistaken. Now I got to look it up because I've heard this story before and it's crazy. It's like the same music that he was, given a Razzie for back in the day for The Thing. He basically does something very similar to that here in The Hateful Eight and wins an Academy Award, if I'm not mistaken, which is, or was it? It was a Golden Globe. I'm so sorry. Best Original Score, Golden Globe Award. Yes, there we go. Can we wait, hang on, go back. I just think that's really cool. That to me is like, which is one of those really cool stories. Ennio Morricone, maybe? I always feel like I'm saying it wrong, but he's great. Love his score for both of those flicks. Some great stuff there. No, wait, fuck. Never mind. Academy Award for Best Original Score after 5 previous nominations. Oh shit. No, he did win an Oscar. Okay. What the fuck do I know? I've just heard that story before and I just wanted to share it here because I think it's really damn cool. The Thing fucking rocks. One of the best horror movies ever made. Just a reminder. Crazy shit about that movie getting shit on. Anyways, Hollywood Guy is saying, do you know any secrets you're willing to spill on Scream 7? Wink, wink. The thing that I knew has kind of already been put out. There's another thing that I had known previously that is kind of already out there. And since it's kind of out there already, I'll kind of talk about that. That people are talking about how there's a reveal halfway through the movie. with a Ghostface, and I'm pretty sure that's probably something's getting revealed about halfway through the movie is what it seems like. And that's kind of been out now for a little while, that Gale is gonna hit like somebody with a car or something. I don't know how it goes down. I really don't know too many details about it, but I've heard from, I can't say, people I know who would know is what I'll say, who are kind of, probably something along those lines is probably going to happen. So that's the one thing I'll spill, because I think like everyone and their mother has kind of talked about it already. Is there's about halfway through, there's some sort of big reveal. I don't know what. I don't know if it's a taking off a ghost face mask, or like something like Gale hits somebody with their car and it's a ghost face and we're taking off. I honestly don't know that. I can't confirm that, but I've heard that there's some sort of big reveal halfway through the movie that's going to be a jaw dropper kind of thing. So I will say that's one thing that I've known for a while. That has sort of been revealed from other people, which is exciting. But I cannot say the other thing. I've sworn to secrecy on it too. I cannot say, and trust me, you wouldn't want to know. You wouldn't want to know at this point. I promise you. Even people who like to know spoilers, you wouldn't want to know. Trust me, man. It's crazy shit. But that's the one thing I'll say is there's some sort of big reveal about halfway through. So I don't even think that's not even really a spoiler. I don't even know what it is. I'll be honest with you guys. I know that there's a big something halfway through the movie. Is it a ghost face getting revealed? Is it, a big clue that's going to be a big shock? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. So that's what I'll say. That doesn't feel too spoilery. Hollywood Guy, thank you so much for the 5. I greatly appreciate your support. Davey, I'm with you right now, man. I could go for a bowl right about now to roast. Davey, I'm gonna have to come out there, and we're just gonna have to, get a bowl of cereal, if you know what I mean, and just go nuts. Just go live on the internet after that. I think that would be a great idea. No. Chase from Moser Movie Reviews is saying, "Me too. I love Evil Dead." Are you excited for Evil Dead Burn? Dude, I'm so excited for Evil Dead Burn. And I'm waiting for my opportunity to make a big video on it. I have not had that opportunity. I am in the middle of 1,000 projects right now, and I can't get them all done. So I finally just caught up on videos and news and shit today. And I'm going to have a big, group news video covering some stuff I missed through the week later on. That's probably going to come out Friday. But I finally caught up with all the big updates, so I'm like, I can rest a little bit tomorrow. But I do want to get a big Evil Dead Burn video out. I love talking about the Evil Dead franchise. It's one of my absolute favorites. I'm really hoping that Burn is good, because I truly believe that every single Evil Dead, everything is fucking fantastic. Totally worth your time for totally different reasons, which is nice. I feel like more horror franchises should be set up like Evil Dead. We have, all these different people who have thrown their 2 cents into the franchise. Evil Dead is what the franchise has turned into. It's this gigantic canvas where all these other horror, creators are being able to throw their own little speckle of paint on there and just do their own thing, which is great. I love Sam Raimi's approach to this franchise, where he's just, finding people who have made other movies that he really likes and just saying, hey, I want you to make a new Evil Dead movie. Rock and roll. Be a part of a big horror franchise. Hell yeah, dude. Evil Dead 2013 and Evil Dead Rise are both fantastic. Are they better than the original Evil Dead? I think that's debatable. I think that, for me personally, I think Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead movie is probably my absolute favorite. Hot take. But I don't think there's a bad Evil Dead flick. I think Army of Darkness is a comedic masterpiece. It's so fucking funny. Oh my God. I mean, it's one of Bruce Campbell's best performances. Same with Evil Dead 2, which is like horror comedy, more or less. Army of Darkness is just a straight up comedy. Let's be honest here. But Evil Dead 2 kind of bridges that gap really well, I feel. You have the slapstick humor and also some great just brutality, blood, and guts. It's awesome. I mean, I don't know. I could put on any Evil Dead flick at any point and I'm going to have a great time with it. And you want to talk about, having a bowl with a horror movie? Whew, best franchise ever to do it with. Come on now. Love the Evil Dead. Can't wait for Evil Dead Burn. I think it's going to bang. Like I said, I have not disliked an Evil Dead thing that I have consumed yet. I love the video games. I love the show. I love all the movies. So far, this is the greatest franchise ever, but we'll see. Michael, yes, it is legal where I am, thank God. Here in Ohio, it was just legalized very recently. I think it should be legalized nationwide. The fact that it's not is crazy. The fact that people are imprisoned for it is fucking crazy. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. So I think that there's, another thing too, and I feel the need to address this after getting some weird comments on my Silent Night, Deadly Night coverage. I'm always very open about my political views. I don't care. I'm sorry. I know some people might get turned off from it, but truly at my heart and my core, I love every single kinds of person on this planet, and I feel like there's a lot of laws and things going on with our government, especially right now, that just I feel the need to speak up for it. I think that a lot of people get the opportunity to do what I'm doing right now, and they decide to do this thing, and I've literally unsubscribed from channels because it turns me off to them so much, where they get up on this, they won't get up on their soapbox. They won't talk about what they believe in because they just don't want to. That tells me that you don't care about the people that watch you. I care about you guys. I really do. And I want to make sure that the laws that are being passed in this country and pretty much every other country on the planet are only serving you. And I think that a lot of the times, a lot of laws and people who are in charge of things don't do that. So I'm sorry if my political views offend you, but I'm also just not sorry. I care about the people who watch and support the page. Community is such an important thing to me, and I'm always going to be very vocal about that. So I think, again, I literally know people who have family members who are in prison because of something like pot here in the great state of Ohio, and I just think that sucks. It's literally legal now. Release them all. Release every single one of them. It's crazy. So I'm sorry if that offends you, but I care about the people who watch this page, and I only want things being passed into law that serve you guys. I'm very, 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 very grateful that I get to do this. And I don't want that. I even hate complaining. I cannot complain. Because I am just so grateful to have this space. The least that I could do is get up on here and talk about things that will benefit all of you. The least that I could do. And I'm trying to do a little more, and I'm really hoping that I can, there's something I'm trying to make happen right now that I don't want to announce quite yet, but I have a really big stream, fingers crossed, that's going to happen, I hope, if I can get in contact with some folks. I'm really trying behind the scenes to make some more things happen and benefit the community, all that fun stuff. But again, biggest point to be made here is I feel like a lot of people get the opportunity to do all of this and do nothing with it, and that fucking bums me out. That's disgusting to me. You got this opportunity to be in front of a lot of people, have a voice, and then you're just not going to do anything with it. You're just going to be all selfish and fuck off in the corner. No, that's crazy to me. Sorry, that sucks. But anyways, I'll get off my soapbox. Apologies. I just it's something that just frustrates me. It's something that goes through my head quite a bit. Stars and Mandy, I'm saying soapbox again. What's up, Mandy? How we doing? Thank you for the 2. Saying Jake and Madison need to visit Arizona gaming/smoke party. I do. That would be awesome. That would be one. It's legal there, isn't it? I believe it is. I'm coming out. I'm going to Arizona. Let's make this happen. Let's rock and roll. I've been to Arizona before. I've only ever driven through it, and it was during August, which it was 125 degrees. I'm shocked I didn't just melt. It was crazy. But I will visit you guys when it's a little cooler out there. Here in Ohio, it gets pretty wild. It's all over the place. It's freezing cold right now, and then in 6 months, it's going to be also 100 degrees. But y'all got it crazy out there. I mean, it's fucking hot in Arizona, dude. Cars are melting and shit. It's nuts. But I'm coming out there at some point. I'm making it happen. Arizona, really, really cool. I love that whole little area of the country. Been out to Nevada a few times, and Arizona. I gotta get back out there if I can. Really cool little area. I love the desert. I'm really fascinated by it. I don't know. Oh, have I ever told this story on stream? I was attacked by coyotes out in the middle of a camping grounds. We camped in the wrong spot like a bunch of idiots, me and my friend, and we had a bunch of coyotes try to rip into the tent. It was terrifying. Probably the most horrifying experience of my life. But it was really cool, and I still think about it quite a bit. So I love the desert, I guess is my point. And I want to go. I'm fascinated. I want to go back out there. Michael Rue is saying, my wife used to go to Ohio a few times a year. We just moved the family. She had she had their back here to Massachusetts. Very nice. I would much rather live in Massachusetts than Ohio. I will say that. I want to get out of Ohio, frankly. I'm closer to a city now, which is cool. But I'd almost rather live in like I know Michigan's kind of close by. I've thought about moving to Michigan quite a few times. I really love, what's the area? Oh man, Ann Arbor area is just amazing. A lot of great people out there. I've had a lot of really good experiences in that area. I actually went up there to film a video for this page, where they shot all the stuff for Scream 4. I did a little Scream 4 locations video on this page with my mother. It was so much fun. I should have done Scream 2 locations with my mom. That would have been so fucking funny. I'm calling my mom after this, and we're going to California where they shot that. California and Georgia, I think, is where they shot that. So her and I we're I'm taking my mom to California and Georgia soon. It's happening. We're making that happen. What else is going on here? We're planning the trip out there. I love that. Next Gen is saying, I think I'd be cool if there was a Hard Eyes sequel set at a Love Island honeymoon resort. I kind of fucking love that. I'm hearing rumors that they're trying to get a Hard Eyes sequel in development. I don't know if you guys remember this or not. Hard Eyes didn't necessarily like blow the box office away or anything, but it did have a shocking second weekend where it made like a fuck ton of money just because like there wasn't anything in theaters. So I think the studio's kind of looking at that and they're saying, maybe people are interested in some more Hard Eyes. I really, here's what I'll say about this. I really wouldn't mind a sequel. I don't think the movie was great, but I think it has potential. I really think this is something that has potential to do more in a sequel. I think you could make I really believe you could do a Hard Eyes sequel that is better than the first. I think it's possible. I have faith that could happen. Somebody else has taken up the mantle of this killer. And is going around doing some more shit. So I have faith in that. I would be so down for another one of these. If they got a better, if they figured out how to write a better murder mystery as well. That's a big thing for me. It's not even that it was bad. Like I think Jordana Brewster, I think had a good performance there. It's not that she was bad as a killer. It's just she was just making it obvious the whole time. I don't think it's her fault. I think it's a lot of what was going on in the script. But I definitely feel like they could 100% do a sequel to this and do it better and top the original. That to me would give a little more weight to this one, and also just turn this into a really cool little franchise, that we get kind of like, we're all excited for Thanksgiving too, right? This could kind of be like the top of the year slasher, our February slasher that we're all getting excited for. I'd be so down for that. That would be fun. Hollywood Guy is saying, Jake, I'm still waiting for Valentine 2. I'm crying. Valentine that's a really fun movie, man. That's got I think I even said this in my Hard Eyes review. I was like, dude, if you mixed Valentine and Hard Eyes together, the twist of Valentine, which is like the best part of that whole movie. Oh my God. And then just like the vibes, characters, kills from Hard Eyes, you would have like the best Valentine's Day slasher ever. Like that would be perfect. If we could make that happen somehow, just slapping that together, that would be great. That would make me so happy. I don't even know how they would make some sort of edit, but make it happen. Chase is saying favorite horror movie tagline is either from Alien in Space, No One Can Hear You Scream, or from Scream 5, It's Always Someone You Know. I like both of those. Those are really fucking cool. I've always really liked The Fly's tagline, which is it's be afraid, be very afraid. Is that what it is, right? I think that one's fun. Simple, effective, pretty solid. That one's nice. But yeah, I mean, those are also super iconic. For some reason, Happy Death Day keeps popping in my brain every time Hard Eyes is mentioned. I feel like they're very similar movies in terms of feel. Oh, and also Christopher Landon wrote both movies. So there you go. Christopher Landon is your connection. I love Christopher Landon movies, though, man. He's got a lot of really good stuff. I haven't seen all of his movies, though. He's got this movie called Burning Palms that I have not seen. I just clicked on his little page here, and I've heard of this one. I've never watched it. I never saw We Have a Ghost either. Yeah, I heard about that. I never sat down and watched that. He's got some great stuff though, man. I mean, he's got a lot of really good movies. If you haven't seen everything he's done, he was a huge proponent in the Paranormal Activity franchise. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but that was a very big. That was like when I first heard about him. He was writing, like, he has a writing credit on like pretty much all the sequels, which is nuts. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think the reason I like the Paranormal Activity franchise so much is because where the sequels take it. Christopher Landon is amazing at a lot of things as a writer, but one of the biggest things to me is writing sequels and world building. And he does that so well he does that well in a lot of sequels that he's written, but Paranormal Activity especially, dude. Like, man, the way that he world builds throughout some of those is fucking awesome. He's also the writer. Yeah, he's the writer on the last Paranormal Activity movie, which I really loved. I think I was the only one that loved that. I don't care. So good. So much fun. Happy Death Day to You is another one that he's done, though, that I feel like isn't great, but I like the approach to it. I think the idea was sick. Wait, what's going on? What's happening right now? Davey's saying, did we just agree on a movie? Oh, what's happening out there? Some crazy shit. I love it. Chocolate Ice is saying, yes, Stu is definitely back. Hope he's not going to be AI. You know, I can actually agree with you on this one, my friend. I might not be crazy about the whole Stu is alive thing, but if he's just back as an AI voice, that's just so disappointing to me. Come on. You know what I mean? You're going to announce that Stu Macher is back. He's alive. And then not do that, you know? It feels a little cheap. Come on. Have him on screen for something. If he's alive, whatever, but like, just don't lie to us. You know, don't just try to put butts in seats. Where's the fun in that? Hollywood Guys throwing another 5 out there. Thank you for your support, my friend. Saying, since Kevin Williamson is on board for Scream 7, do you think Chris Landon will do a Scream movie? I would love this more than anything. I'm so serious. I think this guy was born to do a Scream movie. I think he's done so many movies that feel like Scream and are so very inspired by Wes Craven's style specifically. For me, a match made in heaven is Kevin Williamson writing and Christopher Landon directing. That to me would make a very awesome Scream flick. Would love to see that movie at some point. And I would just love to see Scream open up to more filmmakers like Christopher Landon. You know, I feel like, and this is crazy. I don't know. Maybe this is a nutty thing to say, but I kind of love, the other Michael Kennedy who works with him quite a bit. Like on Freaky, for instance. I think, just more people that love this franchise. I'd love to see them be a part of it in some way, shape, or form. It would be fun. I think that's just such a big problem with Scream is we just haven't had, why we haven't had a whole lot of fresh ideas is because we haven't had a whole lot of fresh creatives. It's mostly been, from the same people almost every single time. So I would love to see some other people throw their own 2 cents into it and see where it goes from there. So yeah, I mean, that would be a match made in heaven is a Kevin Williamson script with Christopher Landon directing, in my opinion. I think that would make an excellent Scream movie. Would love to see something like that. So I think, I love that Kevin's directing. That's really cool. It feels like a really cool, like full circle moment. But I think that this movie might, Kevin's just not experienced in those departments. I'm sure he's been on a million sets and he has more experience than, most people do, for sure. But, I think someone like Christopher Landon has a very unique style that's inspired and could, bring something fresh, a fresh perspective to this series, which would be nice. Where Kevin's the brainchild. You know what I mean? Kevin is the guy that came up with Scream. And of course, it's going to make for a consistent film. I could guarantee that. But I think that, with each new sequel, I do want something new. I want a new thing to take away from it. I don't want to just show up to the theater to see a Scream movie. I want to show up and see a new Scream movie. I think that's a very big thing. I want something personal from this film. I want a brand new story that adds on to the franchise and its legacy. I think we can guarantee that with some creators who love this series so much and have styles that would really fit it. Chris Landon is that guy. Austin Allman is saying, when we were young, I fought my brother because he said Paranormal Activity was real. I was fucking terrified of it, man. I think my cousin put on like one of them, Paranormal Activity 2 or 3. Scared the hell out of me. I don't think I slept that night. Like that was a scary one. Whew. I loved it. As a kid, that really freaked me out, and as an adult, I think it's just nostalgia. Like it's a big nostalgia thing for me now. But I do really like these flicks. Are they perfect or anything like that? No, but they're so much fun. Oh man. Chase is saying, I know we had a little bit of Chrome, Ghostface, and Scream 5, but I would love Scream X to be like Jason X and have that again, like a Chrome mask or just a variation of the mask in general. I'm very much so with you there. You also heard a rumor that Matthew Lillard was the one that was underneath the mask. Yes, that's actually confirmed. Radio Silence confirmed that on, I think it was the Dead Meat podcast, if I'm not mistaken. They said it somewhere on some podcast. I think it was Dead Meat. Don't quote me on that, but somewhere they had announced like, yeah, that was Matthew Lillard. And if I'm also not mistaken, they shot it like in his backyard in like a night. Like it was just a little thing. They gave him a flamethrower, said rock and roll, dude. Let's go. I love that. I think that's an awesome story. Blake is saying 28 years later, threequel update dropped. What? Stop. This is the update I've been waiting for. No. 28 years later, part 3 in planned trilogy officially moving forward. I'm so fucking excited. Oh man. Oh, my night is made. I can sleep easy. Oh, let's go, baby. Oh, I was so worried. I was so when Danny Boyle came out and was like, they're not doing part 3. Like we need to make enough money. I was so worried. And then, dude, I'm looking at the box office numbers for 28 years later. And I mean, like, dude, they're only $1 million over the profitability mark. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, the sequel's never going to reach that. Like, look, guys, the sequel's going to make less money. I'm just telling you that right now. Bone Temple, it's being released in January. It's not going to make as much as a big, like, blockbuster horror release, in the summertime. It's going to, if it cracks 100 million, it'll be lucky. I'm just going to be real. Man, I was so worried. I'm like, dude, people have got to show up for Bone. Like, I've even been saying it in videos. I'm like, guys, please show up for Bone Temple. Like, I've been so worried. I'm like, it's a January release. I don't know, man. Sony greenlit it. Okay, thank God. Whew. I can rest easy as a 28 Blank Later fan. Fuck yeah, baby. Okay, we're finally doing it. They're making it happen. Doesn't have a title yet, but Cillian Murphy is set to reprise the role. Rock on. Okay, good. Thank fucking God, man. I was so worried. I want to cry right now. I'm so excited. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think 28 Years Later is my new favorite film in that whole franchise. I like Days. I've never liked the third act. I think 28 Days Later is fantastic up until you get to that weird third act that doesn't necessarily work for me. And then 28 Weeks, it's probably the most brutal film in the whole franchise. If you want like a scary, crazy zombie movie, hell yeah, it's awesome. But Weeks, I feel like just misses the point of what Days was trying to do. And then Years, for me, what I loved so much about it is it gets even crazier and weirder, and in all the right ways. It's still very terrifying in a very unique way. I don't know. I've never seen something that made me feel the way that 28 Years Later does. It's weird. It's artsy. It's wholesome. It's sad. Like it's just got a lot to it. It's got some great music. Man, Young Fathers, is that what the band that does the music for that? Oh, so good. Such great shit. I'm so excited right now. I'm over the moon. I've been like waiting for this announcement. Was it Austin that said that? Who said that? Blake, you literally just, thank you for telling me. I'm so excited. I'm so happy right now. I'm so hyped up. Oh, let's fucking go, baby. Whew. Mastermind Killer, what's up, my friend? You just got home from work. What did I miss? You just missed that 28 Years Later 3 is happening. Let's go. I'm like, I want to cry, dude. I'm so fucking happy. I love that movie. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna stop glazing. I'm so excited for January. In a couple of weeks, we're getting part 2. Oh, this is gonna be great. I'm just so happy right now. I'm over the moon. Let's go, baby. Mastermind Killer is also saying we get 28 Years Later 3, but we don't get I Know What You Did Last Summer 2. Sad panda. I'm actually kind of shocked they haven't announced well, I don't know. I think the reason they're not doing I Know What You Did Last Summer 2 is because the reviews were so poor. It was profitable, it made money. But I think they're worried that if they do a sequel, people aren't going to show up because the reviews weren't great. So I think that's probably why it hasn't happened. But it does have its fans. You know, some people really did like that one. But I think that, you know, if the reviews, it's always about the audience. You know, everyone looks at critics scores and stuff, but it's like, what did the audience think about it? And I don't even think they were like crazy about it, if I'm not mistaken, like just general consensus. But yeah, I think they're just worried that if they throw that much money at a sequel, it's not gonna perform as well. But it would be. I wouldn't say I wouldn't be crazy about it. I didn't love, you know, the 2025 movie, admittedly, but I would still see it. I would still see it and totally review it. Austin Ullman is saying the alpha has pants. No way. Kind of a bummer. I'll be honest. I think kind of the biggest disappointment when it comes to the Bone Temple. You're gonna call it the Bone Temple and then give the guy with the massive, well endowed fucking pants. What is this? Clickbait. Bone Temple? Nah. Crazy. Anyways, I'm just so happy. I'm so over the moon. I'm so over the moon right now. Life is great. I can't complain. Samantha really wants to do Water Park Simulator. We're gonna do Water Park Simulator soon, I promise. I was gonna do a gaming stream tonight, guys. I am wrecked. I need to rest, dude. My eyes actually hurt from looking at a screen so much. I've been editing like multiple hours every single day. It's starting to get to me a little bit. So I think I'm gonna kind of take it a little easier tomorrow. I'm only gonna get like a little thing out, do a little video with the Night Watch Zone tomorrow night, which is gonna be fun. So check that out. We're doing a very special Kill Zone. We're going to be going through a bunch of different, Scream-inspired horror films and determining if they're worthy of being part of the Scream franchise or not. Are these murder mystery films that could, be considered an honorary Scream sequel? We're going to be going through a bunch of them tomorrow, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely stop on by for that stream. I haven't set it up yet, but it's coming, I promise. That's going to be my big project for tomorrow. I'm working on a ton of different stuff. I just posted a big update video over on GullGotha, which I'm doing new update videos over there for horror games. So if that's something that interests you, go subscribe to GullGotha. Not only are we playing video games over there, but we're also doing updates on horror video games. So it's going to be really fun. Really excited to start making that kind of content over there. And I'm still doing deep dives on Jakey Retro. I'm slowing down on it because I'm trying to focus on the two channels that are monetized for right now, but I do want to keep making content on Jakey Retro. It's a really fun page to make content for. I think the videos over there are probably some of my best. So definitely, I have one in the works, one that I just have to sit down and actually edit at some point, but it's just been crazy. Big video on Talk to Me and Bring Her Back, both movies from the Filippo brothers. Really excited to get that one out sometime soon. But guys, I really do appreciate you for hanging out with me tonight. New stream tomorrow night with the Night Watch Zone. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I really hope you vibe. I really hope you're excited for it. Paul's asking if we have any new details on the early Ghostface unmasking in Scream 7. I'm not 100% sure. I know from some sources it's likely to happen. I don't really know who or how or what, anything along those lines, but I would bet that it's probably going to happen based on what I've heard. Little birdie in my ear. So that's what I'll say. So I think we're probably going to get an unmasking about halfway through the film, which is really exciting, really fun stuff. And I'm just excited for Scream 7, guys. Roll on February 27th when we not only get Scream 7, but also Resident Evil 9, baby. Wow, it's going to be a big day. But so much love to you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. Stop on by the stream tomorrow. And as always,